Nothing to scoff at when standing in a busy street. And if you pay close enough attention, faces taking the crosswalk or riding the subway will soon grow familiar. How unfortunate that out of that number it has to be Theo fucking Luke I encountered more than once.
Oh, you know, a few problems popping up here and there that the agents failed to tell us somehow.
Again? You?
Nothing a few hired hands can't fix, of course. I would have preferred a place near the city and something that's new to save us all the trouble, but darling wife insisted. Who am I to say no?
Ah, are you kidding me?
Yep. He is here. His smug head is the first thing I see upon turning into the hall. In spite of the small crowd of his parents and students gathered at the corridor for the primary Carrie's day. It's not that he stands out, he's pretty unremarkable at first glance, frankly. However, it's his countenance that draws people's eyes to him. The manner he carries himself, all the confidence in the world, his mere presence dwarfing everything around him. I'm willing to make a bet he's also enjoying the attentions it garners him, especially the ones coming from the woman.
What an ass.
I sing a glass at him, and I know immediately that one way or another, if we ever bump into each other again, my day will effectively be ruined in some capacity. He also exudes that air. The sort that makes you want to run him over with a lorry and pass it off as an unfortunate accident. With him, it's either you want to punch him or let you yourself be charmed. There's no in between. I gladly do the honor of the former myself, but at last, there are people around us. Now I'm stuck with having to face one of the two.
I shouldn't have volunteered.
Yeah. At the time, helping out sounded a good idea. I have no classes left today until after lunch. I could have opted to stay at the teacher's lounge and work on my lesson plans, but that means being left alone with our deputy head and his chatter. He's a good man, but Crivens can't talk anyone's ears off. So the moment an opportunity rose, I jumped on it. It's a simple task to boot. Just deliver a whole box of materials and a few posters for the event. Maybe stay around to assist if time will allow it. I just was not expecting him to show up here, out of the frying pan into the fire. And I known I would have stayed and suffered through our deputy's impromptu speeches about his life crisis instead. But what's done is done. Going back is also out of this question. With how unexpectedly heavy the load I'm carrying is, I hate to long this for a trip back just because my pride can't take another second of interaction with this guy. He's insufferable, alright, but I've had my fair share of dealings with teens of more or less the same temperament, all considerably younger than him, and they listened. If he wants to be difficult like last time, so be it. But he can bet his sorry English ass I'm not standing down. Left with no other choice, I brace myself and suck in a breath, mustering every patience I have as I step into the hall. My grip on the box tightens when I pull it closer to me, in an attempt to assume a low-key hair as I amble towards the room. The box is not big enough to hide my face, even with a soft pile on top, but if all else fails, I can just hit him with it. Again. Still, a small prayer forms in my head. If there is even one listening out there, please grant me enough restraint. Better yet, I hope he doesn't notice me at all. That would definitely make my life easier. Seriously, how hard can he be? He's standing a few ways from the door, and there are plenty of people between us to use it for cover. If I'm careful, I can just go in, hand the stupid box to whoever's in charge, forget every plan of staying longer than necessary, and step out as soon as I can. Easy as pie. But as luck as would have it, The exact moment I reach the room's threshold, someone barrels towards me. She latches onto my waist before topping the sudden commotion with a gleeful squeal.
I knew it's you!
The force of it nearly throws me off balance, sending the items stacked atop the box tilting dangerously to the sides. With a child's added weight at my waist, pinning me on the spot and both my hands occupied, washing is the only thing I'm able to do. A short seconds in between slows as everything graciously slides off the box's small surface. Under different circumstances, this would have made for a funny short story. Some of the time. Comical even. Until another set of hands reaches out and steadies the poster, threatening to take a nose dive right to the floor. Careful now, Daisy. Don't make a mess here. My entire body freezes. Upon hearing his voice alone, an irrational impulse to hit him immediately bubbles up. But before my limbs could catch up with what my brain is currently screaming at me, he moves to take the burden off my arms. Irritation gives way to surprise and confusion. It's in that moment when instinct finally kicks in and I tug the box closer to me before he can fully lift it up.
What are you doing?
What does it look like? You're surprisingly slow on the uptake for someone of your profession, aren't you? Bloody, doesn't this school have people for this kind of work? Ugh, so much for being a center of academic excellence.
I'm going to ignore that slight to my alma mater and my work, because that's not what I'm trying to get at. You know what? Why don't we just rephrase that to something you'll easily understand? Why exactly are you doing this?
Well, you look like you could use a bit of help.
You look like you could use a bit of help. Not from you though.
Have you seen your face while you were heaving this around?
Mister, I'm pretty sure if there's ever a look on my face, it's entirely because I saw something extremely unpleasant this morning.
Damn. Dropping the hammer.
Aren't you a ball of sunshine today, Daisy? Having a bad day, aren't we?
Oh, you have no idea.
I'd put it away if I were you. You might scare the children.
You don't have to worry about that. This isn't my department. I was just asked to bring these. Anyway, I can handle this myself, mister. The room's just right over there. Behind you, in fact. Now, if you could please move over and make way, it would do the whole world some good.
Keeping my voice level throughout is a miracle in itself, but regardless of how polite my request is, it doesn't budge. What I've just said merely flew over his head? Were my choice of word really that difficult to comprehend? Surely it shouldn't be that hard. I think it might be a little touch in the head. I'd like to ask him that actually, but Kylie chooses that instant to pipe in.
Don't worry, Miss Pink. Tio's strong. You can leave this to him. My papa does it lots of times, but I'm not allowed to talk about it to anyone. Tio says it's
Confidential, Munchkin.
Confidential?
That's right.
I thought she was gonna say confites. What?
Tio's smart, isn't he, Miss Pink?
I'm still of the opinion that it is a piece of shite, but I must admit, his goddaughter's excitement is contagious as always. A smile makes its way to my lips. She has yet to budge from her place, though to be honest, I'm starting to lose some feeling on my stomach with how tightly she's wound her arms around it.
I'm sure he is, Kylie. But I'm also sure he'll find better use for it elsewhere.
Like helping you out.
Oh, well, that's one thing, but
You heard the kid.
no one's asking you.
Oh, you wound me, woman.
And I'm quite certain I can do more damage than that. Shall we give it a try? Again?
He pales, stammers for a bit, until he ultimately decides against saying anything and settles for a brief show of discomfort instead. He's probably having a flashback of the last time we met. Yep. You don't want that to happen again, eh, Luke? His composure finally His composure when he finally regains some of his bearings says it all. It's nothing short of hilarious, if I do say so myself.
I'll have you know that threats never work on me, Daisy. Not in a million years, not ever.
You're assuming it's a threat. How cute.
That too. I'm not scared of you. Just because you landed a hit.
Do go on. Keep telling yourself that.
It was a fluke, you hear? I was caught off guard and your damn book left a dent. If I end up in a hospital because of what you did, I'm sending the chief of Luxburn Police after you, woman.
You don't say.
Just give me that bloody box.
He snatches it out of my arms before a single word of protest exits my mouth, and quickly disappears behind the classroom. Not that it matters who brings it in now, my prior irritation has already melted into amusement. It's not so bad once you figure out how his temperament works. It's almost similar to a child, though I still have to ask.
Kylie, did your Tio eat something bad before coming here? He's unusually nice today.
A far-fetched idea, I know, but it's the only reason I can think of why this arsehole is suddenly acting like a decent human. He's quite frankly far from being. First and foremost, we did not end our last meeting on a good note. If I were him, I'd avoid the very person who put a dent on his skull, as he so aptly put it. Why is he acting friendly 2 days later?
He always is. But I made him promise to be extra nice to you since you helped me so much.
Ah.
I think you're gonna be great friends.
I quickly stomp on the urge to groan loudly or gag at that. He's the last person I'd ever want to be chummy with in this whole city, but Kylie doesn't need to know that.
Are you sure it's not something he ate during breakfast?
I gave him some jelly babies this morning. Really brought me lots of them. Mama said I should share, so I offered half of it to Tio when he picked me up.
I'm still wondering who's Kylie's mom. It can't be Anna, because... No, it just can't be Anna. Anyway.
He likes the black ones.
Oh, that's probably why he's weird. Jelly baby overdose.
He could have done everything a favor and choked on them while he's at
Do
it.
you want some? I've got more. I couldn't find Melody or Takako this morning, but I'm sure they'll be fine sharing some of it with you.
No, I'm not really very fond of them. I was just asking. Oh, where's your mum, by the way?
Out of town with Papa.
And an unexpected pang hits me at her words. The statement, though innocent enough, unearths a whole trunk of memories from childhood. So eerily familiar. Nights spent eating dinners alone, the number of days coming home to an empty house growing with each passing year. And sometimes, several Christmas Eves spent with relatives instead of my own family. It's too late to think about it now, but when I remember, the dull ache is still there, familiar though lessened by the years now. Beside me, Kylie takes a step back. I've gotten tired of clinging to me. There's nothing but cheer in her. She doesn't seem too affected by the fact, although it makes me wonder how much of it is real, and how much is there to mask the loneliness, if there is even one. What a lucky child.
Weren't they informed of career day beforehand?
Yeah, I told them all about it. Mama was looking forward to it.
And they still left?
Uh-huh. It's important business, so it can't be helped. They promised to tell me about it when they come back tomorrow, though. Papa said he'll give me a gift if I behave. I've been a good girl, right, Miss Pink?
You always are. But they asked they asked your Tio to look after you? For this?
Nope, they didn't.
No? Then how?
It was supposed to be Tia. Mama likes her better than Tio, so she asked her, but she's sick and had to visit the doctor today.
Trying to think of a character that could be sick at the moment.
Oh, that's supposed to be a secret, by the way. but I think it's a bit confusing.